everyone, welcome to Archimedicos. In this section we discuss about the last part of our pharmacology basics of pharmacology, in which we basically discuss what are the drug administrations. It means what how we drug injected in our body how the drug should be administered and how the drug should be injected. What are the many ways for the administration of drug we discuss in this part basically, and this is about the last part of our pharmacology basics. And one or two more topics will be left, but we discuss in the last of our pharmacology subject in this end of this subject. Now we're going to discuss here about the seventh part of our discussion, that is pharmacological basics 7th. That is basically the name of the topic is route of the drug administration. And basically what is the route of drug administration? Is it, as I told you, that it is the how the drug should be administered in our body, how the drug should be injected. Maybe the drug should be taken orally, maybe the drug should be inhaled through the nose, maybe the drug should be injected in the form of injection, maybe intradermal, maybe intramuscular, intravenous, like this. Maybe some drugs are coming into the patches form, they are taking on their skins, that is subdermal, subcutaneous. Or this type of drug administration should be used in these modern pharmacological topics. We discuss this. And now we are going to see here the route of drug administration. In the first part we can see there are two types of, basically the two different classification or the two broad classification of the route of drug administration, in which the first one is systemic route of drug administration and the next one is local route of drug administration. They are the two route of administration of the drug, the basically systemic route and local route. What does it mean systemic route? Systemic means basically they are the whole body. They defining systemic means they are basically whole body. What are the drugs should be injected in our body? They are any part of our body. It means they moving around the whole body. When these drugs are injected or these drugs are entered inside our body, they are circulating whole circulatory system, throughout the whole circulatory system. What does it mean circulatory system? Circulatory system is basically the blood circulation or the lymphatic circulation. If these drugs are reaches through them, they moving throughout the body, and the different types of organ systems they also reaches. That's why the definition is written here, the administration of medication. Maybe sometimes medication, when the patient gets any disease, then we inject medication. In the sometimes the patient needs some infusion. Suppose that the patient is having hypohydration, suppose that the patient is having hydration condition, we have to dehydrate it, so you infuse the saline. Same as here, we can also infuse the saline. Is a administration process. It is also a drug type of route of administration, in which the systemic route and local route. In systemic route there are several different types of the administration. On the basis of their site, on the basis of the location, they are classified and their name are different. Next one, on the basis of the local route, they are locally, basically they are injected local in the specific region, and that's why their name is local route. Now we are going to first see systemic route. There are the basically 10 different types, the systemic routes of the drug administration in pharmacology. There is a first, we have to some trick about them. Now we can see the 5I, it means the 5I like this. Their naming are starting with the 5I. It means 1I injects, second, third, fourth, fifth. These all I are indicating the some names of the systemic route administration. And the second one part is the one trick is roast. Obviously the spelling is not correct, the double S, but we have to make some tricks for them. That's why we are taking like this, the 5I roast. We can memorize any, you can make on your own tricks, but my trick is 5I roast. As you like, you can. Now you can see the first I and I. The first I is responsible for the, or the indicating the name is intranasal. Second one is inhalation. Inhalation means the something we taking through the nose and they inhaled, they coming in our circulatory system or respiratory system, they coming in our respiratory system. Basically the inhalation, they going inside the with the air, they passing through the nose, nasopharynx, oropharynx and larynx, and then coming into our which system? Respiratory system, in the lungs, or they are also called as pulmonary. That's why their name is also inhalational, is also called as pulmonary route. Pulmonary route or inhalational route. Intranasal, what does it mean? We have to take some drugs inside the nose and they reaches in our brain or the central nervous system through the highest absorption capacity. They crosses the blood brain. This is the only route, intranasal route is the only route through which the drugs are directly injected inside our central nervous system. These drugs are directly crossing the blood brain barrier here. It is the only one route. Next one is intravenous. They are injected inside the veins, and intramuscular. They are injected inside the muscles. You know, I think. Intradermal, they are the dermis of the skin. Next one we can see the trick is R. R is for the rectal. They are injected through the anus. And O stands for the orally. We take through the mouth. S is double, that is subcutaneous. Below the skin, cutaneous. And the next one is sublingual, below the tongue. Below the tongue we take basically nitroglycerin drugs. Next one is T, that is transdermal. These all are the basic names of the systemic route transmission. There is intranasal, inhalational, and intradermal, intramuscular, intravenous. And R stands for the rectal, O stands for the oral, S stands for the, we can see, subcutaneous and subdermal, and next one is sublingual, and after that intradermal. These are the terms we see here, and transdermal. So basically this trick will be, you want to memorize, then you can, otherwise you can leave it. Next one we can see local route. What is the local route through which the drug is administered? The first one is topical. Topical is also local route, and topical in which there is a three main regions where they are injected the drugs, that is cutaneous layer. Suppose that in the ocular, in our eyes. Next one is mucosal membranes. Next one is cutaneous membrane. The three main types of the locally they are injected: ocular, muscular, and cutaneous. Next one is intra, means they are the intra means basically in the some specific region inside it. When they are inter, it means in between two something region, in between two. But intra it means inside the something. We have to see there is some joints, and inside the joints, that is intra-articular, inside the artery, intra-arterial, and inside the theca means inside the vertebral column we have to done lumbar puncture. That's why the intrathecal. It means the vertebrae, in between the vertebrae. These are the specific routes where the drug is administered. That is, routes of drug administration is systemic and local. Now we are going to see detail about each and every and several examples which are the drug. But examples is not much to memorize now. We memorize later in our later section of the pharmacology. Maybe we discuss the autonomic nervous system, sympathetic, then central nervous system. These all terms will coming out, and the drug name will be already memorized in that section. So we have to see just for example here. The first see the routes of drug administration topic is starting now, and inside which the classified two parts. I already told you the systemic and local. After that we see the systemic route having two parts mainly. We see intranasal, I already told you, inside the nose, and inhalational in the respiratory system. The first we discuss intranasal. These are the basically the drug. What are the drugs the taken intranasal? They are the peptide natures. The drug nature is like peptides. We discuss later what are the nature of drugs. And these are the only drugs they passes the BBB. BB stands for the blood-brain barrier. They are the any other route it cannot crosses the blood-brain barrier directly. They are not crossing. And these drugs are reaches to the central nervous system, CNS, and only potent drug can be given. This is the only potent drug. Potent we know, that is potency of the drug is determined by the efficacy and affinity. So we want to affect the nervous system. We want to stimulate the nervous system. These drugs are taken in inhalational or intranasal. We take basically intranasal, not inhalational. Inhalational goes to our lungs. Next one, what are the benefits of these drugs? What are the benefits of these routes of transmission, that is inhalational or intranasal? Basically we discuss here intranasal. What are the main benefits of the intranasal transmission? There is a rapid absorption and effect will be seen in the central nervous system. There is a rapid absorption will occur and the effect will be very fast. That's why we use this intranasal in the central nervous system drug administration. And it is the patient can inject itself, or the patient can inject the drug itself or himself. There is a self administration of the drug. That's why it is it is the rapid absorption. The first benefit is rapid absorption, second is the effect will be very fast, and third one is the patient can use itself. What are the drugs? Several examples is written here. It's not must to memorize it now, but one drug is very important, fentanyl, that is opioid nature. We discuss later in the opioid section. That is fentanyl. It is we taken intranasal or inhalational. Intranasal. Calcitonin, growth hormone, GnRH agonist drugs, and desmopressin. These are the 4 drugs which are taken in intranasally. We have to memorize this. Only most important one is fentanyl here. Next point in this systemic route, the next point is intranasal. After that, inhalational. Inhalational we discuss. They are the passing through pulmonary route. They are affect the lungs. We discuss now. They are the systemic effect and local effect of these drugs. When we take the inhalational drug or pulmonary drug, there is a 2 basic routes or the basic effect of this drug: systemic effect and local effect. What happened in the systemic effect? We can see their benefits of these drugs. In the systemic effect, there is a rapid absorption and effect can be seen. Rapid absorption of the drug, it is good. Next, there is a no first pass metabolism. The catabolism and breakdown of these drugs is not happened here. It means the benefits. Okay, what is the drug? Example is Afrezza. Afrezza is basically is a type of insulin which is taken into the hyperglycemic condition in diabetes mellitus. DM is here indicating the diabetes mellitus. We taking the Afrezza drug will be in the acting like an insulin, which is acting like an insulin, which is basically taken in the diabetes mellitus case. In the postprandial cases, we discuss later in the diabetes section. Next is the local effect. Local effect of this inhalational drug. What is the local effect? In these drugs, the benefit is the less systemic side effect. The side effect is very less. When the drug is locally injected or the locally effect will be shown, the drug is not going everywhere in the body. Their effect will be in a specific region. It's not going in the different parts of our bodies. That's why we can see the examples of local benefits. The first one is bronchial asthma. When the drug is taken in inhalation form, we can see the asthma patients having pump. That is the asthma patient having steroid drugs. Next, COPD patients, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, in which beta 2 agonist, we discuss later what are them. The anticholinergic drugs should be given. Next, in the pneumonia is caused by the pseudomonas. We can also use tobramycin, or the influenza, that is zanamivir. These are the drugs we used by the inhalational method, and their effect will be local. So here we basically understand what are the inhalational method, what are the drugs in the inhalational method, what are the benefits. We have to memorize here in this topic what are the benefits of these routes. Basically, what we have to memorize? The benefits of all of these routes. Next point we can see sublingual and oral. Sublingual, below the tongue, and orally. Orally drugs will be taken. Sublingual is place the tablet, the drug sublingually, just below the tongue. What are the benefits? Once again, the rapid absorption and effect will be very fast. There is no first pass metabolism because the drug is directly absorbed in the superior vena cava and the systemic circulation. The drug is directly going to the venous system. The drug is having no metabolism is occur. The metabolism is occur when the drug is going through the digestive tract. But these are directly enters into our systemic circulation. Then there is no catabolism is happened. No metabolism is happened. It means the first pass metabolism is not happened here. Next one, after the adequate effect, the drug can be split out. Or they spit out, they can be, after the effect will be shown, these drugs, we can spit out or the thrown out the drugs. So these are the benefits of these drugs. Next one, what are the drawbacks? Drawbacks of these drugs, that is sublingual drugs, will be the first. The teeth is going to discolored. The discoloration of teeth will happen. And next is decaying of teeth. The decay and discoloration of teeth. There is also several effects we can see. They increase the risk of cardiac side effect. The cardiac side effect we can also see in these drugs. We can see one most famous example is your nitroglycerin is the very important drug. Nitroglycerin, most common, is used in the angina pectoris. and many different drugs will be written here, that is isosorbide dinitrate, this is also nitroglycerin group, that is buprenorphine or the nifedipine, ephedrine and ergotamine. That these all are the drugs which are taken sublingually. It is okay, hope so. Next point we are going to discuss here is oral drugs. Oral drugs is the most common route of drug administration. Why? Generally we take the drug orally, and you know it is a common life experience. We can see here the benefits of these drugs. They are the cheapest route. It means the drugs are available very easy way. They are the most convenient route. The patient is most convenient to take route there with the water, and the safest route. And this is the safest, convenient and the cheapest route. Drawbacks: there is a most variable absorption of these drugs inside our intestine or the stomach, and the first pass metabolism is occurred. These drugs are gets catabolized and metabolized. There is a metabolism is occurs. It means there is a catabolism and anabolism. These drugs gets catabolized here. So it is the drawback of these drugs basically. So what are the benefits? Cheapest, convenient and safest. Drawback will be the first pass metabolism, and there is a absorption is variable. Next one, the drug not be given oral route. What are the drugs is not given orally? This one is most important here. What are the drugs not given through the oral route? The drugs are not given oral route. The any drug which name is ends with. What are the drug which are not given orally? Now you are the doctors, we have to think about it. What are the drugs which is not given orally? The any drug which name is end with, the names are end with ase. These are enzymes, we know. Kinase, tide, that is peptide, and MAB. These are the three terms, age, tide and MAB. They are the three names ending with the any drugs. These drugs are not given through the oral route. So what are the examples? That is asparaginase, octreotide and abscamab. Abscamab is the three drugs. These are the three drugs which cannot be given, or the what are the drugs name ending with the age, tide and MAB is not given orally. Next point is the, and one more thing we can see here, the larger molecular weight drugs, they are the peptide drugs, they are the larger molecular weight drugs of the protein not given through the oral route. These are given through the parenteral route. Parenteral route is basically preferred with the intravenous, intramuscular or subcutaneous. These are the preferred route for the parenteral route. So till now we discuss four things. That is first one is intranasal, inhalational. Next one we discuss sublingual and oral. After that we are moving to the next topic, that is intravenous, intramuscular and subcutaneous. 3. The first we can see intravenous. What are the benefits of this route of drug administration? It is the only route of the drug administration in which having 100% of bioavailability. Bioavailability we discussed, the drug is going to the systemic circulation without any absorption, without any showing the effect. The 100% drug is absorbed in our systemic circulation. These all drugs are present for the action. These are the bioavailability of the drug. They are the most rapid effect. The intravenous drug are directly injected into the venous system and they reaches into our blood circulatory system, and the effect will be very fast. These drugs are used in the emergency cases basically. The large volume can be injected in the patient. The patient is having any infusion will be occurred. They are also intravenous. The infusion, it means the hydration case, they will be injected. The saline, it will be also due to intravenous route of administration in the larger volumes. And the drugs should be large molecular weight can be given through it. Large molecular weight we discuss now in the protein case. That is can't be given through the, we can see here. They cannot be given through the oral route. It can be given through the intravenous route. Hope it will be okay for you. Next point we can see, what is the drawback of these routes? Which route? What is the drawback of intravenous route? Okay. Drawback. First, it increases the risk of toxicity, of course, because it is directly going into the blood. What are the drug is present inside it without any catabolism and anabolism? These are reaching to the blood and they produces toxicity. higher risk of toxicity, and drug is having oily medium, that is hemolysis will occur, breakdown of blood cells. Next, what are the examples of these drugs? What are the examples of these drugs? They are injected through the intravenous, that is PSVT. We can see paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia, simply tachycardia. When the patient is having tachycardia, adenosine will be injected intravenously. In the pulmonary edema, in the edema cases, we basically injected what? Furosemide. We discuss later in the second part of our topic, that is furosemide is given in the pulmonary edema. When the patient is having any edema in our lungs, then we use furosemide. Hypertensive emergency or crisis, we given the nicardipine. Nicardipine is a drug is given basically in the hypertensive emergency. It means the patient is having hypertension, emergency happened. Next one is status epilepticus, is basically representing the epileptic status, means seizure attacks. We given basically lorazepam. So these are the several drugs. These all are injected how? Intravenous. In this topic we have to memorize first benefits and drawbacks and one or two examples. That's it. Next point is intramuscular. These drugs are injected in the muscles. What are the benefits of these drugs? The drugs in oily medium. The drugs are in oily medium, and these are repository or the vehicles can be given. These are the oily mediums, that's why they are injected in any patient through it, and they delay the absorption of the drug. That's why the drug is long acting. What are the short acting and long acting? The short acting drug is having the fast metabolism, and metabolism is fast, that's why they cannot be reaches in the blood circulation very fast. These are the drugs are metabolized very fast, but the long acting drugs are present in our blood circulation for a long time, and these are due to the oily medium injected through it, and they are the delay absorption. There the irritants can be given. Irritants in the patient is having any intoxication, charcoal will be given. That is self-administration is also here. So intramuscular drug will be also self-administered, we can inject here. And in the several regions also, gluteus maximus minimus muscle in the buttock region. Now we are going to see in the next part drawback of this intramuscular region. The drawback we can see here, the drug in oil medium, the pain on the injection will happen. We can see the patient will having the injecting on the muscles region, the patient feel pain, or after the swelling in the some 1 or 2 or the 1 days, or the specifically we can say like the 4 to 6 hours, we can see there is swelling in that area. That's why there is a, what are the drugs that is injected in intramuscular route of a drug administration, that is benzathine, or the we can see penicillin, basically penicillin G, or the monoclonal antibodies and adrenaline. These all are the drugs which can be injected. Penicillin is antibiotic. Antibiotic is given through which route? Intramuscular. Next, subcutaneous. Subcutaneous is basically discussed here. Subcutaneous, just below the skin. And these are the long duration action in the subcutaneous region. Long duration of action means their action is longer. What are the benefits of these drugs? They delay the absorption of these drugs. They delay the absorption. When the drug is injected in the subcutaneous way, they are reaching in the blood circulation very slowly, and their absorption will be very slowly. It means they delay the absorption and the long duration of action. That's why when the drug is injected in the subcutaneous manner, these drugs are reaching to the blood very slowly. It means they reaches very slowly in the some amount. That's causes the duration will be increasing of these drugs. And after that, these drugs are also taking self administration. We can inject by itself in the subcutaneous manner. We can use it. Next one. What are the examples of that? We can see first drawback. The drawback of these regions, that is irritants cannot be given in this case. The pain and necrosis at the site of injection. We cannot give the patient is having any pain or the necrosis, any damage of the tissues will happen in that area. We cannot give in these drugs. Next one is example, basically the insulin will be given subcutaneously. Next one, monoclonal antibodies or the octreotide is a peptide type of drug. It can be also injected. There is a insulin, monoclonal antibodies, and the octreotide. And next one systemic is the rectal, transdermal and intradermal. We can see first rectal. What are the benefits of the rectal? We can see there is having lesser metabolism than the oral route. What does it mean? When we take the drug through the oral route, they are reaching to our stomach and the metabolism is happened with the time of their absorption. But here in the rectal route, these drugs are directly from the anus coming, and these drugs having lesser amount of absorption will happen. It means there is a lesser amount of metabolism will happen. Lesser amount of metabolism will happen. It means they are better than oral route. Yeah, metabolism is happen less. It means they are better than the oral route. And they are because due to they absorb from the portal circulation. The drugs are directly coming through the portal circulation. Portal circulation is how they are collecting the blood from the intestinal region, stomach region, or the esophageal region. When these drugs are injected through the anus, these drugs are injected through the anus. They are coming through the large intestine. Blood circulation are present. They are the venous blood. Venous blood are coming through the liver. In the portal circulation, through these drugs are absorbed and they are coming to the liver. That's why they are the portal circulation, and 50% directly into the inferior vena cava. Then directly these drugs are coming to the liver, and after that they are coming to the inferior vena cava and then drain into the heart. There is the unpleasant drugs can be given. When the drugs are unpleasant, we can't bear their smell or anything, then these drugs are given like this. Next one is drawback is variable absorption. The drugs are basically having variable absorption. So we can't give in that drugs having absorption power is more or less. Examples are the rectal diazepam in the febrile seizure cases. Diazepam is given febrile seizure. So these are the examples of the rectal. Next one is transdermal. They apply just below the skin, and these drugs are looking like this, or maybe a circle. On this, there is a spine-like structure will be originated. And that is pin like a structure. We have to just patch on the skin. These patches are taken and then put on the skin. These are the transdermal patches form. Their drugs is having benefits are, these drugs benefits are, they are long acting and slow absorption. Slow absorption, of course, why? They are on the skin region. The blood circulation is very less in the skin region. That's why these drugs are going slowly in the blood circulation, and after that they are reaching to the blood circulation. There is a long acting drugs because they are going into a slow manner. After that there is a no fast pass metabolism because they are directly interested to our blood circulation. Next point, what is the drawback of this transdermal region? The drawback is basically only lipid soluble drug can be given. Only lipid soluble drug can be given. Water soluble drugs can't be given. You can understand, because you know this. What is the examples of this transdermal? Most important example, once again, fentanyl, clonidine, nitroglycerin, scopolamine. You have to memorize these things. Nicotine we can also memorize. Clonidine, but these four are important: clonidine, nitroglycerin, scopolamine, and fentanyl. Next is intradermal. We can see in the case of intradermal route of drug administration, the benefits intradermal, just below the dermis of the skin, that is slowest absorption rate, and the parenteral route is taken. What is the sensitivity of these drugs is taken? The usage in the basically in the sensitivity case, the checking of the sensitivity of any drug to the patient, the diagnosis. Suppose that in the patient is having tuberculosis, tuberculin test will be done, for which we taking the tuberculin injecting, and the tuberculin test will done in the tuberculosis. The drug is having checking that in the any reaction will occur, then it means we can't give in these drugs to the patient. Next one is drug hypersensitivity. We have to check also the patient is not suppose that the drug is given to the patient can't bear that drug doses, or maybe the patient having allergy for that drug. So we can check for that hypersensitivity of that drug for the patient. We have to inject the several amount of that drug, the dosage will be given, and we can see if there is any reaction will occur or not in the body. That is beta-lactam antibiotics. Now the local route we discussed that basically topical, intra-articular, intra-arterial, and last one is we can see here, intrathecal. First topical route, second intrathecal route, third intra-articular route, fourth intra-arterial route. We can start from down. Intra-arterial route is basically benefits of the intra-arterial route. These drugs are directly injected inside the arteries. Injected inside the arteries or the organs. There is a lesser risk and the lesser side effect. Okay. Lesser risk of first pass metabolism. These drugs are moving very fast. There is a less toxicity is produced, less side effect is produced, and the less first pass metabolism. There is no time for the metabolization of these drugs. These drugs are basically anti-cancer drugs. This type of route of drug administration is basically used in the patient is having hepatocellular carcinoma, liver carcinoma, and the head and neck cancer. The patient is having any head and neck cancer. It means there is a laryngeal cancer or the pharyngeal cancer will be happening in any patient. There is anti-cancer drug will be used in these routes. Which route? Intra-arterial route. Less side effect, less risk of first pass metabolism. Next one is intra-articular. Articular means joint basically, and joint. These are the injected in the joints. In the rheumatoid arthritis patient, the patient is having inflammation in the joints. That's why they are injected directly in the local area of that, injected in the inflamed area, and that are the steroid drugs. That is intra-articular route of drug administration. Next one we are going to see intrathecal. As I told you, it is basically used in the lumbar puncture cases. There is the lumbar puncture. What is lumbar puncture? Lumbar puncture is basically the injection of drug or the taking of any CSF amount will mean the lumbar region of our spinal cord. Basically in the L3, L4 region, there is lumbar puncture is done. There is a taking a needle, and the needle is injected just below the L3 vertebrae of the lumbar region, and they injected inside the spinal canal, and they taking the spinal fluid, that is CSF, and then take it for the diagnosis, different types of viral bacterial diseases, or there may be less amount or higher amount of the CSF amount. So we can check through these, or the intrathecal route or the drug administration is also we can take. The benefits of these routes, intrathecal, there is a lesser systemic toxicity. They do not crosses blood-brain barrier, basically because they are directly injected inside the ventricles of the brain. Sorry, not ventricles, they are the spinal canal. The examples are the methotrexate, aminoglycosides, baclofen, midazolam, and local anesthetic. We can see here one thing. Aminoglycoside is used in the CNS infection. The patient is having any infection, then we can use aminoglycosides. Baclofen is basically in ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Basically, the baclofen is giving in the patient a muscle relaxant action. They are the spasm. The patient have any spasm in the muscles. These are also given the spinal fracture, spinal cord fracture patients. And the methotrexate is basically used in the leukemia, cancer. Methotrexate is an anti-cancer drug in the children. Next one we are going to discuss here is the last one, our topical, that is the topical route. In the topical route, 3, cutaneous, mucosal, and ocular. The topical route is basically used is cream, foam, gels, and the ointments. These are the use. The cream, there is a cream type we can use. There is a foam, gels, and the ointments. They apply on the body surfaces basically and the mucous membrane. They are applying on the body surface generally and on the mucous membrane. And the cutaneous way, they are basically used. The drug names are the steroids, antibiotics, and immunosuppressant drugs will be given. Immunosuppressant basically are the cyclosporine, we can see. They are given into the dermatological disorder. Means any patient having dermatological disorders that leads to the skin disorder. So we can apply the cream in the cutaneous, cream, foam, gel, ointments. Next one is mucosal. Next one is associated with mucosal, they are the bladder cancer. Basically in the bladder cancer, cystitis or the vaginal candidosis, we can use these drugs by the mucosal route of administration. Then is the ocular, in the eyes, in the glaucoma cases, they are using of the eye drops, ocular, analgesics, or the antibiotics. So these are the way of administration of drug. And this is the end of our pharmacological basic part. Hope you will read this and enjoy our videos. And I am happy to here to help you with in pharmacology and in all subject I am helping you. And I don't know how to say, but it's easy for you to learn here pharmacology basically, and all the subject, not only pharmacology. let's give me some time. I will upload all the videos about all the topics, and I only want to say you can study very well. Pharmacology is a very vast subject, and the drugs are very vast to memorize it. So constantly revise and enjoy our journey with pharmacology with Arca Medicos. Thank you. All the best. Bye bye.